everybody, it's Anne with the One New Thing Project, and guess what? It is finally mozzarella night. I'm pretty excited about this. I truly have absolutely no idea how this is going to work out. Sorry about the recipe that I sent you. It's the one that I found, but the person who wrote it was very intrigued with her own writing, and so Rob and I had a very long discussion today about steps 1 and 2, which is to dissolve it, citric acid into lukewarm water, and then to dissolve the rennet into tepid water. And were those actually the same things? They are, by the way. Okay, so if you're ready, I know this is going to be a bit of a long video, and just for a spoiler, because we have to let stuff rest in between, there's like, let stuff sit for 5 minutes, let stuff sit maybe for 10 minutes. There's going to be wine drinking, so you might want to get that out too. So that should be fun for everybody. Okay, so first thing we got to do is mix 1.5 teaspoons of the citric acid right here with a cup of lukewarm water. Tepid comes in the next stage. So, by the way, do you ever want to do a cooking show when you were a kid? Do you ever like pretend to do that? I think everybody did. Oh dude, I totally should have opened this up before we started this. I might need to rely on my handy cameraman here. Sorry, technical issues, yo. Oh, there we go, maybe. I cut off all my nails earlier this morning, and so a little harder to get these off. So we'll see if that catches fire later. Ooh. Okay, so that's what citric acid looks like. There you go. It's, I don't know, white powdery stuff. So I pulled out the hot water earlier. St. Louis city water, at least in our house, gets insanely hot. It's 1 teaspoon. I'm one of these people that I try to use as few spoons as possible. So I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon. We'll see if my math holds up. So I got it out a little bit earlier, and we're gonna let that. So it's now down to lukewarm. Look at that. Okay, all dissolved. Certainly don't want to drink that. Okay, this is our 1/4 cup of tepid water. Apparently not lukewarm, but we're going to crush our rennet, which is here somewhere. Yo, what did I do with my rennet?
Over there.
Oh, thanks. This is why you have assistants. Appreciate that. This is rennet. If you get liquid rennet, you can skip this step. Basically, all we're going to be doing is dissolving it. So you're going to take 1 tablet of the rennet and a 1/4 cup of tepid water, and you're going to crush up your rennet. Crush it up like a pill. Guys, I'm so not a druggie here. I told you this would be good entertainment either way. So, I'm going to crush this. Or you might see me cut my hand open. By the way, if you're watching and you have like suggestions of how to do this, please let me know. Oh, okay, so in the vein of like do stuff twice, definitely get the liquid rennet. It's not expensive. I think it's like $4 or $5. It's really not expensive. But I have a sneaking suspicion. I envision these in being like Flintstone chewables and a whole lot easier to crush up. So, ooh, that went everywhere. You know what? I'm going to see if we can we're going to see how dilutable these are. because I have more. Oh, that failed. That was a super fail. Did you guys see that? You know what? We're going to start with new rennet. New rennet. All right, well, let's just see. Let's see what happens. See if we can crush it up in here. Get another spoon. We might need to heat up the water. It's a little easier. All right, so pro tip, let it get into the warm water, and then yeah, you can start to crush it up that way. But some of you maybe saw that coming. You can let that kind of sit for a minute, let it get a little soft, because that's coming up in a bit. Okay, time for milk and heat. So, pay no mind to all of the liquor in here, but it's a good time to go ahead and get out some wine. Milk, wine, good. Just make sure that the milk's the thing that's going into the pot. Alrighty. So, next thing on our list, we're going to pour our milk into our pot. Whole gallon, y'all. Whole gallon. Right up to the tippy top, look at that. Okay, then move it to your very favorite burner. And then we're going to mix in the citric acid mixture, not the rennet, that comes later. So we're going to pour that in. There we go. And then we're going to put this over a medium-low heat. So this is not my favorite burner. This one's my favorite burner, but this one does not have a medium-low setting. And so that is why I'm on this one. Set. Oh, crazy. So the milk's already a little thicker. This is a little wild. So you're going to want to stir this kind of on and off. And then with your digital thermometer, you want to keep an eye on it and make sure, see my digital thermometer here? This has been through many Thanksgivings, y'all, and it has not stabbed any family members. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so you can also see sort of how cold it is in my house, but my husband's clearing it now. That's okay. I'm gonna ask him to get me a wine glass here in a second. So, it's not as cold as the milk. The milk is much colder. So we want to get the milk and citric acid here up to 90 degrees. And that's going to take a minute or so, a couple minutes. So we'll have wine and chat instead. How's everybody's day? How are we doing with everything? Oh, my husband's fabulous. Look, guys. Look, look. Look. He got me my, because Mercury's in retrograde. It says retrograde now. Whatever. That's what 2020 did to this. How's everybody's day been? Have you guys been thinking about what kind of new things you want to do?
DJ says don't cut yourself.
Well, I mean, that would not be a new thing, actually. I've injured myself cooking before. I'm going to keep working on this rennet here. need to redo this, you guys, because I think the water's maybe gotten a little cold. But that's the joy of this being a little, having a little time here. All right, so we're gonna jump this, we're gonna try it again. Okay, again, St. Louis hot water, fabulous. Time for a drink. Cheers to you all. DJ, you're welcome to come over here and chop up the rennet. Got a whole bunch left. If we go through all of these guys, it's gonna be bad. I don't know if you can see this, but it's not even, we're only at, what are we at here? 60-odd degrees. And this is already like getting thicker. We're getting some curves already. I am hopeful. I will say that. I am hopeful. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. Yeah, we'll make that a little bit more. Okay. What you doing there? This is literally the biggest pot I have. Actually, I guess it's not. Got one more. I didn't think about that. Okay. And yet again, I've lost the rent. This blends in so well with my countertop. It's not an okay thing. Let's see if I can score this. All right, DJ, don't freak out about this. Let me try this again. Ha-ha! And success. See if I can get it into... I feel like Harry Potter. Do you remember that in the Half-Blood Prince? You guys remember that? Don't worry about that. That's just stuff that's spilled. I'm checking. I'm checking. It sounds scary though, I'm not gonna lie. So in the Half-Blood Prince, he had to, when they were making the draft of the Living Dead, look at me being a Harry Potter nerd. Oh, that's much better. That is much better. He had to cut up the silver beans, I think it was. Or no, they had to cut up something with a silver blade. And he had, and the Half-Blood Prince's book said to crush it on its side. And that was the key to getting his potion to work. So, I'm slopping stuff all over here. All right, let's see where we're at. We're getting there. We are getting there. We're about 75 degrees. So one of the other things that I kind of wanted to do with this, look at that though. There's stuff sticking to it. I know, I get stupid giddy when I do new stuff, you guys. One of the other things that I wanted to do with this is they said that this was going to be like a 30-minute recipe, and I feel like people lie about that. And so I wanted to actually verify that this was going to be a 30-minute recipe. So we'll see. We'll see. There you go. Look at that. Okay. That is how, if you have the rennet tablets, that's, I think, the easiest way to combat the rennet tablets. Use slightly warmer than tepid water. I'm really salty about that word, by the way. I'm really salty about the way she did that. So these tablets are a little bit harder than what you would, like your Centrum, or like I said, your chewable vitamins. So first of all, if you can get the liquid, then you don't have to mess with this. Then you just put in your little quarter cup of tablets. But then if you have slightly hotter than lukewarm water, then you can cut them up and you can mix it up a heck of a lot easier. And that is roughly what it looks like. I've still got a couple of floaters in there, but I think it's gonna work out okay. That doesn't come in for a little while. That's gonna sit for a bit. Because we run, once this hits 90 degrees, then we're gonna mix that in. I hope there's room in the pot. I know there's only a quarter cup, but man, it's up to the top. So we'll see. This is gonna be a lot of cheese, y'all. It's not all gonna be cheese because you gotta separate the curds and whey. And I'm having a total
Little Miss Muffet.
Little Miss Muffet moment. I've been having that ever since I've read this recipe. So you definitely don't want your milk to scald. That would burn everything and kind of suck a lot. Alrighty. We're getting there. 84. 85. Ooh. We're at 88. We're getting close. And 90, we're done. Fabulous. Alrighty. So we're going to take that off the heat. Alright, that didn't take too long.
Turn it off.
I did turn it off. Oh, no, I didn't. I turned it down. This is why I have Rob. Well done, Rob. Because when the drinking starts, common sense stops. Okay, milk's off the heat. We're going to stir in the rennet mixture, see if it overflows, and we're going to stir it for 30 seconds. Hey, Google, set timer for 30 seconds.
Sure, 30 seconds, starting now.
My son is super freaked out, by the way, because we have a Google and we have an Alexa. He's very concerned about the number of robots we have in our house. Alrighty. Who wants to sing the Jeopardy thing? Do 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 do. Oh, you guys! Rob, you gotta bring that over here. Alexa, cancel. Oh, god damn it! Oh, sorry. Okay, Google, stop. Oh man, you guys, this is so cool. Okay. Oh, that's really wild. Okay. And then you have to cover it up for 5 minutes. So before we do that, because I'm going to pull out the lid, that is definitely not in the dishwasher at the moment. Welcome to Anne's life. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Can you really see this, or are you just like not wanting to move the camera?
I zoomed in.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to cover this up. You gotta let it do its like rennet thing. And so then we're just gonna sit and wait. Okay, Google. Set timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes, starting now.
And then I'm actually something bigger on it that will, so that I can probably keep a little bit more of the moisture in. I feel like that's a little bit more important. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna clean a little bit of this up. So, and drink a little more wine, because why not do that? You're very lucky because I actually cleaned my kitchen up for you guys. It's not a super common occurrence here at the Bing household. Currently engaged in a battle of wills with my almost 23-year-old son about that. I'm losing, and yeah, he lives in his room and plays video games all day long, so until he starts his new job. So he's used to living in a dorm room, and so I don't feel like I'm gonna win that game soon. So yeah, but I'm waiting him out. We'll see how it goes. So instead, until then, there's wine and there's tequila. Speaking of, let me show you these cool things. Since we've got like 3.5 minutes, let me show you these. I got these for Christmas. These are Himalayan salt shot glasses. So we keep them in our freezer. You guys are gonna think we're luscious. And I actually do not drink that much, but why not? So my daughter got me these for Christmas. So you drink tequila with these. Jen Regan, if you are watching this, girl, you absolutely need these because I know you love tequila. So with this, you don't need to have salt on the rim. So you just put even passable tequila in this. And then you've got the salt on the edge. So I know what you're thinking, because we thought the same thing too. How on earth do you clean them? So the inside right there is plastic. So you just rinse it out, hot water, same thing on the edge. Yes, it will degrade over time because it's salt. I mean, it's salt, but but then you can use them again. Like I said, we keep them in the freezer so that we can have chilled shots. Not that often, but trust me, I'm not a tequila girl generally, but this is whoever came up with this, bring a peace to humanity, you guys. So, yes, so there's that. Rob also has his Death Star ice globes in there, so he uses those for his whiskey, so yeah. We have all kinds of stuff in there. We do not have ice cream though. So, but we already did that video. We can make ice cream a different day.
Because ice cream and cheese don't go together.
Ice cream and cheese is a bad idea. Cheese goes with a lot of stuff. Cheese does not go with ice cream. Bacon can go with ice cream if you do it right. And bacon can go with cheese. So you would think by transitive property that cheese could go with ice cream, but you'd be wrong. Now I know Ben and Jerry's is going to try to do something with that.
There you go.
And steal my idea. We're going to call it the one new thing, ice cream with cheese. So we had this debate not too long ago. We play this game, it's called Descent, and if you haven't gotten it, you really should get it. It's a lot of fun. Basically, it makes arguing a sport, and in my family, that's a really good way to channel it. So one of the questions in there that was up for debate was cheddar cheese is the best cheese, and that has led to constant discussion and arguing. So I'm super curious to find out what you think the best cheese is. I'm kind of partial. I like mozzarella. I wouldn't say it's my favorite though. I'm kind of partial to Gruyere because first of all, it's really fun to say, and it's also really melty. Okay. Okay, Google, stop. Okay. over on this side. Do you see this? It's like pulled away from the edge. Do you see that? That's really, science is magic, guys. Like, it's just like floating. That is so wild. Okay, all right, I'm done dealing with it now. Okay, now, you need a long, thin knife. Everybody frightened? Or one of those fancy things that you use to ice cakes with. They're like kind of flat and then kind of long. I don't have that because clearly knives are more fun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to score the curves. I'm very excited that you can see the curves in way. Okay, so here we go, right? So there's no pictures for this. So I'm kind of hoping that I can at least like put some pictures on. It's a little irritating because it's like moving, not gonna lie. But we have the start of mozzarella cheese, you guys. Oh, seriously? Come on now, don't move. Play nice. The next step to this, which is going to be very interesting, is you're supposed to heat it up to 105 degrees and stir it gently without disturbing the curds, and I'm not entirely sure how to do that. So, I don't know, we'll figure that out together. Oop. I'm just supposed to go this way and not stab it. Okay, pro tip, don't stab it. That will disturb the curds. Just see if you can slice through it. There we go. Okay. Don't disturb the curds. That could be a horror movie. This is so irritating because it's like moving. There we go. Okay. Now, it's not helpful. When you move the pot, the curds stay put. Really not helpful. All right, here we go. I think they're supposed to be, at least according to the picture, they're kind of supposed to be even. Come back, come back, come back. I wonder if I needed to make this wait a little bit longer. You know, first times, we'll see. Okay. Thanks. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Try everything twice, right? Okay, now, we're gonna heat this back up on, it's definitely not liquid, so I did that right. Okay. Okay, there's my son. Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Where are you going? All right, so we're gonna set this on low and bring them up to 105 degrees.
Measuring how wide my desk is.
Oh, okay. That's really all the interaction we get. So you're very blessed. Yay. Okay, so we're gonna bring them up to 105 degrees. We're currently at right at about 90-ish. Yeah, we don't have far to go. stir them gently, trying not to break up the curd. So we're about 97. And then we're going to stir, I'm guessing, around the edges. It's about the only thing that I can figure. So we'll proceed with that. So, yay, more wine. And I'm going to stare at you weirdly. I was telling Rob, so we've got all of these, we've got Google, we've got Alexa. Alexa weirdly does not listen to me. Alexa only listens to Rob or Moira Rose. See, and then she gets pissy and turns off. And so the more that I talk to her and she gets upset, then the more like David Rose I become. I'm like, Alexis, and it becomes like a whole thing. And if you don't get that joke, you need to watch Schitt's Creek because your life is seriously lacking. What's up, Brian?
What are you doing?
Making mozzarella cheese. I'm doing a live on how to make mozzarella cheese.
Okay.
It's a new thing.
Okay.
There you go. That's about all you get from him. So our next step is, after this, is we're going to separate the curds and whey, Little Miss Muffet. And then we'll start combining stuff. Then we'll start getting it into our balls. Balls. I'm such a child. All right, we're at 101. This is kind of like, oh, we're at 102. It's kind of like watching a little kid's fever rise. I often wonder, so like when I was teaching, we had to get to like, if the kid had a fever of like 100, then they went home. But like with this, it's like, do you wait for like 105 or is 106 okay? Or, anywho, yeah. Conversations I have with myself when I'm drinking wine. I'm a yoga teacher. I think about random stuff like that. What can I say? So yeah, oh, my slotted spoon. So we need to use a slotted spoon. Oh, for real, is that in the dishwasher too? That's gonna be sad. Hold, please. Sorry, gotta get all of my utensils out. Really glad I checked, Joe. Hold, please. Technical difficulties. Here we go. Alright, slide spoon. Or holy spoon, whatever. Okay. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to put it into a sieve, basically. So I don't really know how big these curds are going to be. So I've got a couple different kinds of sieves. I've got this, so depending on if we need if we have like big chunks, or if it's going to be like fairly small. I've also got this one. This one's just, it collapses a little bit. It's a little bit more of a pain in the butt, so I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I'm making this up as I go along, you guys. 102, 104. All right, we're done. Beautiful. Okay. So, see if I can do this. Look at all of our curds and whey. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. So, once we do that, let's see how we want to do this. I don't think that's going to work. So, we need to let this stand for about 5 or 10 minutes. Put a sieve or strainer over the bowl using a large pot, a large slotted spoon. Scoop out the curds into the sieve. But I think we need to let that sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not really sure what the parameters are around when we start scooping it out, though. So, yeah. So, let's go for 7 minutes. We'll split the difference. Okay, Google? Let's set timer for 7 minutes. See, this is why I lie. Are you looking at
7
the
minutes,
time?
and we're starting
Because it's
now.
definitely not 30 minutes. You see where they lie? I swear I'm going to start writing recipes with the actual time. When I did the creme brulee Saturday night, they put the, oh, hey, by the way, let the creme brulee cool for 2 hours at the end. That's not okay. Don't do that stuff. Like, when people are cooking, they're ready to, like, eat. But then again, I was also that girl that, I remember this in 3rd grade in Mrs. Ross's class, where you had that assignment where you had to, like, put your name on the paper, and or you had to read the assignment or the instructions, and they said read all of the instructions, and the first one was like put your name, the second one was put the date, and then you read all of the instructions, and the last one was do only 1 and 2 of these. And I did every stinking one of them. Every one. Because nobody functions that way. Nobody functions that way. It's an inefficient way to live your life. I'm just saying it wastes a lot of time. So, there's that. Because now, like, yeah, like what else could we be doing during 7 minutes? I'm just saying. How am I supposed to know when this is ready to be put into the slotted spoon? I'm going to tell you, actually, because I'm going to let you know if it works or not, and I'm going to let you know this is when you're supposed to put it in with your slotted spoon. Why? Because I'm a good friend. And I also won't write a recipe that puts in 1 step tepid water and 1 step lukewarm water, because that's just ridiculousness. We could do a dance break, but I also know that Facebook will shut this shit down. I was going to say something like really political, but I'm not going to go there.
Good call.
So instead, I'll just drink my wine. So today's selection is the Naked Grape Moscato, California Moscato. It's got aromas of peach and orange blossom. The Naked Truth number 15. You're not fully dressed until you put on a smile. How about that? So there you go. So aromas of peach and orange blossom. Let's see. Alright, I get peach. I don't know if I get orange. Alright, maybe a little bit. I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about. Spent a couple of years going to wine club with people who actually did know what they were talking about. They spent a couple of years trying to talk me into liking dry red wines. We pretended to agree to disagree. So I kept bringing sweet white wines. They kept tolerating them. I kept tolerating their dry reds. It's kind of how our life was. So there you go. I'm really fascinated, though, to know what you guys want to do, because in the coming months, we'll be able to do some stuff together as a group, like safely, completely safely, like small groups. And there's, I know that Susie Dayton mentioned doing winemaking. I might have a hookup for that. And I might have a hookup for a bungee fitness class. There's a couple other things that we might be able to do. I know of somebody who does a sound bath that I'll put some information in the group, probably, if not tomorrow, it'll be like early next week. And so, again, these are all things that I know and can kind of like control, not control like control, but like I know the quality of, and I know like they're safe, and the groups are okay, and they'll keep everybody safe, and nobody's going home with COVID or anything like that. So if you have anything that you are interested in, then please put it in the group, or please, direct message me or email me, and I'll see if I can get that hooked up, because let me tell you what, after 250 new things, I know a lot of people and a lot of things to do in St. Louis, and like not even in St. Louis. And so we can definitely get you guys hooked up with a lot of really cool stuff. And even if you want to do stuff with like your partner or your kids, we can get you set up to do those kinds of things too. So yeah, let me know what you're interested in. If you want to do stuff outside, or you want to do more of like the physical activity kind of stuff, or you're interested in doing more date nighty kind of stuff. There's a lot of ways we can take this, and I can get you set up with all of that kind of stuff. So yeah. So, all right. I think we're gonna call that good. Okay, Google, cancel.
All right, it's cancelled.
Fabulous. All right, let's see how this turns out. Okay. So, we're going to take these out. Look at these big old curds, y'all. Looks like cottage cheese. Okay. So I think that might be what we're looking for, is to look like cottage cheese, and for it to stick together. I think that's a good sign. There we go. Nice slotted spoon there. That's way, by the way. Totally didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it looks like I've broken up some of them, so these maybe even could have sat a little bit longer. I think ideally we don't want anything left in the way. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a dork. Alrighty. Okay. Here you go. Look at that. Okay. There we go. So we can scoop out a hair more here. This is going to have to sit, by the way, for about We're gonna have to press this down. I'm gonna use paper towels for that because it doesn't really say what you press it down with. Okay, I'm not pulling up a heck of a lot more here. But I may. So the bowl that you want to use for this, by the way, is, I swear to you, I'm not doing that on purpose. It's just a super common word. Is a not heat conducting. So I've got a stainless steel one. We're going to use that later for something else. So we're going to, I think, maybe do something else here. So we're going to maybe do a second strain. So gently press curds down, or I guess I could use my hands. Let's try our hands. We're going to pull out our food handling gloves. As I said, I'm making this up as I go along, so maybe a bit of a mess here when I'm done. This does not look like we're making food. This looks like I'm about to either do radioactive work or kill somebody. But it's okay. So you're gonna press down. Yeah. So I think ideally we want to use that small strainer there, but there's just far too much of this for that right now. But we do want to get as much moisture out of this as we can. So I'm just going to move this around a little bit. Do this in a couple of small things here. I know I said not to use this, but we're going to use it for a minute. We're going to do a second batch. Let's see how to do this. This could go horribly awry and don't do it, or it could work out great. We'll see. So you see all that stuff coming out? And look at that, that's what we're left with. So then I'm periodically going to dump that. And then, let's see, dump this in here for now. I'll do this. Okay, so I'm going to dump the whey in here so that I can dump it back in there into the pot, and then I'm going to do a final strain of it. And again, that's only because I have a really small mesh strainer. If you happen to have a bigger one, go ahead and use it. We're just trying to get as much moisture out of that cheese as possible. Kind of like when you see in the store where it says low moisture mozzarella. It's what we're, I think, trying to accomplish. And then it's going to sit, and we're going to do some more stuff here with the whey. We're going to reintroduce some of the moisture. That's good. Y'all, I'm a cheesemonger. So I think that's a pretty good start. Now, we're going to pick this up. Leave that there for a minute. Pick this up, put it back in our strainer. And again, if you've got a mesh strainer, you don't have to worry about it. It's all going right here. It's going right there. Okay, now, I'm gonna dump this for a minute. Actually, haha, no, it's going right there. Switching over to this, and then, let's see. Well, I was going to try to strain this out, but you know what? So not worth it. It's going to stay right where it's at. Okay. Now, that's got to sit for 10 minutes. Okay, Google. Set timer for 10 minutes. See, these 10-minute timers is why this recipe is a big old fat liar. All right. We're going to let them drain. They're in one large mass. We're going to let them drain for about 10 minutes. The curds are mostly in one large mass. And remove the curd to a clean cutting board and cut into 2 or 3 similar masses. But while you're waiting, see again, this doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I'm not going there. While you're waiting, put the pot with the whey in it back on the stove and add a tablespoon of kosher salt. Then we're going to heat it. I'm going to heat that sucker up to 110 degrees. Right on. I had a tablespoon around here. There it is. There we go. Okay. That's going to get heated up to 180. And we are at 100 and something. 105 or so. So, a little bit to go. A little more wine. Probably pour me into bed. I'm going to wash off our, look at that. Bye-bye wine. I'm going to wash off our cutting board. Rinse out our, I'm going to rinse out our bowl here. We're going to get ready for our next step, y'all. All right. This, because we're going to need that next. This video is now called "And Washing Dishes." Everybody's excited. My friend Ashley, I'm sure, could give you a great tutorial on that. She owns a cleaning company. And I'm sure she could give you a fabulous tutorial on the best way to do that. All right. our temperature on our water here. One last thing that I gotta clean out. Is, I can't put that there. I can put that there. Is this, because this is what we're going to use to set our cheese. That's cleaned out. Now, that can be heat conductive because we're putting cold, ice cold water in that. So, for that, there's two ways that you can set your cheese, and one is to use ice cold water. The other is to use some of the room temperature whey. But the whey is in here right now and it's getting hot. It's getting to be 180 degrees. So obviously it's going to take a little while for that to get down to room temperature. We're not going to have time for that tonight. We are going to experiment with that, so I'm going to make some mozzarella both with the ice cold water and with the room temperature whey, and I'll let you know which tastes better. You can experiment with it too. Okay. I'm going to turn the heat up on that a little bit. There you go. Let's see if I can spray. No, we're not going to do that. It's going to get ice all over my kitchen, but no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it responsibly. And again, there is, in this recipe, and in the other recipes that I've seen, absolutely no amount for this. None. So, you know, we'll figure it out. Okay, so I put in that amount of ice, that amount of water. There you go. Let's see where we're at, 236. No, I haven't had any more of my wine, and I'm unhappy about that. Okay, so our mozzarella over there, we're going to be breaking it up, squishing it together, and getting it into some balls here in a minute. Okay, we're roughly 135. Okay, in a couple minutes, we're going to be putting some of the hot whey in here, and then we're going to be putting the cheese, so we're going to be breaking this up basically into a couple of similar masses, right? Some like what you think of with cheese balls. And then we're going to put that in here and add in a little bit of salt Oh, I lied. We're not doing that. Hang on. Hold on. My bad. Pour some of the hot whey oat into the bowl and add one of the curd blobs, and then put on the gloves and get ready to stretch some cheese. So then we start stretching the cheese. And then, so we put the cheese in there when the temperature of the cheese heats up to 135 degrees, then we can pull it. So we're gonna pull it a couple of times, about 3 to 5 times. When it starts to get smooth and silky, then we're gonna kind of like wrap it into itself, wrap it up, and then to set it, we pop it in here so that it gets good and firm. That's our plan. Everybody on board with that? Cool. And then we're gonna pat it dry with some paper towels. We're gonna see. We're in the home stretch, y'all. Definitely not half hour. Okay, Google, cancel. Let's see where we are with this. All right. We're at a little over 150. Okay, let's start breaking up our cheese turds here. Let me put on my serial killer gloves. I had to go for red. I couldn't do the Florence Henderson yellow. Again, if you don't know that reference, go watch Brady Bunch. I guess that was Alice that had the... Okay. Let's see if we can squish this together. So, we're going to mesh this together. I wonder if I squeezed out maybe too much of the liquid. It does not seem to want to stick. Alright. Does that look like a blob? Yeah, it's a decent blob. Woo! That looks like cottage cheese to me, but it's passable. We'll see. Take some of you, put you over here. I'm not really entirely sure what blob is supposed to look like if this is what blob is supposed to look like, or if that looks like kind of cauliflower blob. I'm not sure if it's like all supposed to be sticking yet, because this definitely does not look like it's sticking. Alrighty. Rob right now at this point is just hoping, Jesus Christ, I hope this kitchen all gets cleaned up tonight. Alrighty. Come on, baby, come on, baby. There we go. A little bit longer. All right, we got about 10 degrees or so. Go ahead and put the lid on it, see if we can't get that sucker going a little faster. Now it's going to heat up too fast. So it looks like we're clumps of mozzarella. This will have cost us, the milk was like what, $3? The citric acid was about $4. The rennet, I think, was about $4. But the citric acid and the rennet, we have plenty to make a whole lot more of. And so the next time we want to make this, assuming we want to make this again, all we'll need to do is get a gallon of milk. That's it. And there may be some changes that we can make to make this a little more efficient. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely, I think the recipe can be very much clearer. But I'm excited to see how it turns out. There we go. All right, there we are. Yeah, we're at like 179, so I'm gonna call that even. Like, if you're cooking with chicken, that's fine, right? Yeah, we're gonna call that even. Okay. So, that's gonna be hot, so I'm not gonna touch it with these gloves. Okay. I'm gonna pour that into the non-conductive bowl. Again, the science is cool. I'm gonna try this to desperately not pour this on me. No, DJ, I'm not going to injure myself. Calm down. Look how pretty that is. There's your whey. Ever wonder what curds and whey are? Here you go. Oh, you guys. Holy crap. I don't know that there's going to be room for the damn cheese. Well, just. All right, well, let's ladle some of that back out, shall we? Okay, let's ladle some of it out. This is what happens when you keep doing this while you have wine. One new thing, guys. Rob asked me, he's like, are you going to do this before you do the live? And I said, no, it's a new thing. This is why cooking shows do this shit before. There we go. It's kind of an interesting smell. I kind of... Hang on, it'll come to mind. So I would say if you're pouring it in, maybe only pour in half. Because again, it didn't occur to me as I was pouring this in, you might want to save some of the whey if you want to set your cheese with the whey. You're going to need some. You're going to need some at room temperature. So go ahead and reserve some for that. Again, not in the recipe. I will improve the recipe. Buyer beware. Okay. So now basically what we're going to do is we're going to pick up one of these masses. I'm going to pick up probably that one because it's a little more set. And drop it in here. Pour some hot whey into a bowl and add one of the cheese blobs. Again, it doesn't really say if it needs to be submerged. It has like none of that information. How much of the way, some of the way, all of the way not taken, doesn't really say. So, we're just gonna kind of fake our way through it, guys. But we've got a spare one here, so the hell, right? Let's go. And it dissolved. Well, do you guys see the look on my face right now? I'm one angry woman. I am one hot, angry woman. No, I'm kidding. I mean, here's the thing. It happens sometimes like that. Because, like, what you're supposed to do right now... Oh, God, seriously? Oh, shit. What you're supposed to do is wait till the center of this gets to be 135 degrees, and then you pull it out and stretch it. So... What are you seeing? I know. It's clearly not going to happen. So, here's the thing. If you stuck with me, I know it's been a really long time, and we said 30 minutes, and that's clearly not happened. Not mozzarella. Not mozzarella. And Urban Sprout Lady, your recipe needs a little work. So here's the thing though. New things go like this sometimes, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Like, they just do. There were lots of this that went exactly the way they were supposed to, and some things that absolutely, clearly did not. And that is okay. The rule with new things is you do everything twice. So when I do this again, and I will, because I have stuff to do it just takes another gallon of milk. I will, and I'm going to figure out what went wrong, and I'm going to tell you. So that my rule with it is you do it once for the experience, and this was a really fun experience. I mean, it was. Oh God, it was. Don't touch that, like, with your bare hands. That is a horrible texture, y'all. So what have I learned from this? Because I always try to think of, like, you know, the Dalai Lama said, forget the failure, remember the lessons. So what have I learned from this? What have I learned from this? Get the liquid rennet, way easier to use, and write recipes better that nobody cares about why you like making cheese. Like, legitimately, write the directions more legibly. So there's that, because there's a lot of this that's really open to interpretation. So I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to write a way better recipe for you guys. Until then, I appreciate you guys for sticking around for me. I told you it would at least be worth a show. That one of two things would happen. We'd have good mozzarella, or you'd see me destroy my kitchen. My kitchen is not super destroyed, but I do have like an alien glob. So there is that. So, appreciate you sticking around. And you know what? Here's a lesson in new things, because as you're on your new thing journey, stuff like this is going to happen, guys. It just will. So I wish you a really good night. Sorry it didn't go better, but you know what? That's the way the cheese falls sometimes. Sorry, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.